Yes boys, welcome back to the channel. It's Erdtree. I hope you all having an awesome day, and I've added a new weapon to the build. I found a Blacksteel Twinblade and I instantly fell in love with it. Look at this weapon, man. Look at how nicely it's designed. Look at the gold detailing against the black steel of the blades. It looks absolutely awesome. For these invasions I decided to pair the Twinblade with the anvil hammer, and then I'm also using the spread crossbow again. I absolutely love this crossbow and it's really good at finishing players off when they're at low health. I also decided to play into the consecutive attacks with the Twinblade, so the talismans and our flask reflect that. In terms of an Ash of War, I'm using the flame skewer on the Twinblade and it's flame art infused, although it does do some innate holy damage. And finally, to finish things off, I'm still using the 2 Mesmer incantations. But that's everything there is for this one, guys. Let's see how it performs in the invasions. And we're in for our first invasion, guys, in the Specimen Storehouse. I don't know if you've invaded here before, but it's an absolutely awesome place to invade. I'm going to do a few invasions coming up just in this area, I think, because it's such a fun area to invade in. There's a lot of good PvE support, and the actual layout of this place is fantastic. It's so much fun. It reminds me of the old library in Dark Souls 3. I used to love invading in there. I think everyone actually did. It was a very popular place to invade, and the Specimen Storehouse really does remind me of that. So yeah, I think I'm going to do some focused invasions there in an upcoming video. But you could see in the first invasion how effective the Ash of War is that we're using on this Twinblade, the flame skewer. You can see it again there. It's like the Giant's Hunt, but it leaves fire on the weapon afterwards, and you also get this really nice follow-up fireball attack that you can do as well. So on this build in particular, it does like really go well, you know, because it's a fire damage build. Everything on this build has pretty much been fire related from the off. So yeah, flame skewer really does match that theme, and it just goes well on the Twinblade. I think especially when you get the flames on the Twinblade afterwards, it just looks awesome. Look at this, the most delayed roll in history there after those magical arrows got shot at me. But you can see in this invasion we managed to kill one of the summons, and now it's just the host and his other summon. But as you could see from that, the host is doing some big damage with his magic, so I really do have to watch out for that. As soon as I got hit with those arrows then and I saw how much damage he's actually doing, my focus kind of switched to him. I was going to try and just take out the summon, but with the host spamming me with magic from the back, you know, it could be pretty hard work. I could easily get, you know, a quick death against me if the host gets me some big magic, and then the summon runs in. You know, it could easily just finish me off, and this invasion could have gone from being quite a comfortable win to a quick loss. So I decided to switch my attention and just get it won, get that host dead, get that invasion done, and move on to the next one. Now I spawned in here and it's one of these stupid fight clubs. I'm not taking part in your fight club, Mr. Host. I'm going to go and kill this summon as I'm about to do. There we go, some nice damage. He killed the other invader, so that's fine. It's now a one-on-one with me and the host. And I think this guy's using the reflective tear in his flask because it does a nice guard counter on me in a minute for some nice damage. Could see there, maybe not, you know, it's not a load of damage, but who knows, maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. But I like how he went for the guard counter anyway. Respect. I absolutely love that playstyle. As you know, I've been using the shield a lot on this build and playing into the guard counters myself, although in this video, like I said, I have decided to play into the consecutive attacks more with the Twinblade. You will see me using the shield in a couple of these invasions because when I first started trying the Twinblade, I was still using the shield, and I was still in the mindset of using the consecutive attacks, even with the Twinblade. But after a couple of invasions, I kind of realised that, you know, Twinblades are doing a lot of fast consecutive attacks just by the nature of them. So I felt like I was really missing out on some good damage by not playing into that a little bit more. So just for these invasions, when I'm using the Twinblade on this build, I've decided to take the shield off, and I'm using the consecutive attack talismans and the consecutive attack buff in my flask, and it really did start helping with the damage output of the build. But you will see me using the shield in a couple of the invasions and to some good use, but in the end I did decide to change And like I say, you know, I just decided to focus on the consecutive attack damage. We've got a Rivers of Blood using Host here. Now, you've still got to watch out for these guys, you know. You've still got to watch out for Rivers of Blood. It can still be dangerous. It can still do a lot of bleed build-up, as you just saw by that attack. Now, I'm chasing the Host here, and I'm expecting it again. I'm expecting the turn and burn. As you can see now, there we go. And you can see now, you can see like he's still doing some big bleed up, build-up to Rivers of Blood. There's a lot of new weapons in the DLC. There's a lot of very strong weapon options. But you've still got to be careful of the Rivers of Blood, man. Don't take it lightly. Don't just think because there's a lot of new weapons knocking about, you don't have to worry about these old ones. You've still got to respect them because they can catch you out if you're caught sleeping. You know, you've got to be on your toes. Fair play to that fellow invader as well. I think he actually tried to heal me there as we was running up the hill. I like your style, but you know, I had things under control there. We managed to take the Host out nice and easy with the anvil hammer. I decided to keep the anvil hammer on this build just for a bit of raw power if I need it. You know, it's got that big hyper armor and it's got a good Ash of War, so I've got the anvil hammer on there just in case I feel like I'm getting pushed by a gank, or if someone's being super aggressive. I can get the anvil hammer out, and the Ash of War especially. You know, it's like a get off me button, isn't it? It's like a big get away from me, giving my space. So the anvil hammer's on there, it's definitely got a use. Now look at these two in here. Look at this mess. What have I walked into here? I needed some roll practice, thanks boys. Keep them coming, keep them coming. Oh, and it's a white mask, guys, it's a white mask. You know what we've got to do? We've got to keep them numbers down. Look at him, just running into it. See you later. Keep those white masks numbers down. They've been breeding again, guys. They've been breeding. The numbers are rising. There was a dip, but they've been at it like rabbits again. They're a bunch of horny little buggers, these white masks. I'm telling you, they've been multiplying. If you see one out in the wild, guys, just exterminate him. We need to control the numbers. Twinblade doing some nice work against the Host. I absolutely love this Ash of War, the Flame Skewer. I think it'd be good on any weapon you put it on, honestly. But I think on the Twinblade especially, like I said earlier, you know, the flame effect on the blade afterwards, it just looks so nice, and it makes for a really nice damage buff as well. Now looking at this invasion, I knew that the Host was in that side room where all the rats are. I didn't know if he was on his own, I didn't know if he had a party with him, but he jumps out and it looks like he's on his own. We do some nice damage with a follow-up fireball there, and we launch into a Mesmer's Orb, and there we go, nice quick invasion. Nice fashion. Unlucky, he took a lot of damage from the Ash of War and a lot of damage from the Mesmer's Orb, so good effort. But I think I caught you a little bit off guard there as well. But this invasion was funny. These two, I try and do a little sneaky drive-by there, but they seem to see the funny side in it. They don't attack me. These two seem like a couple of cool dudes. This guy's using Vare's bouquet or whatever it's called, the flower bouquet with the blood build up. I was just having a little play around with these two for a while, and then I saw an opportunity. 1400 damage on a heavy attack against him. I just couldn't help it, guys. I couldn't help it. The nice times are over. It's time for some fighting. And look at him. Look at this Host chasing me with a flower bouquet. I absolutely love it. I was unlucky there not to hit him with the Mesmer's Orb. I don't know how that didn't hit him, but fair enough. And look at that, the Ash of War on the Anvil Hammer. It's absolutely awesome. Even if you miss the initial start-up of the animation where the spikes come out, they actually have a lingering effect, and they actually stay there for a few seconds. So if you do the Ash of War and miss initially, and then they actually come in and run into the spikes, they still take a decent amount of damage. So it's just a great Ash of War. The Anvil Hammer, absolutely love it. It's the main weapon on this build, and I'm glad I decided to pair it with the Twinblade. Now these two are putting me under a hell of a lot of pressure. He gets some good damage with the scythe, and then he finishes me off with the flowers. GG's boys, that was a very fun invasion. Good sports. Yeah, I can't complain with that. That was a real fun one. Now I think this invasion is one where I'm still using the shield, and you can see just how effective the shield playstyle actually is in this invasion. Now at this point I was still playing into the counter attack, so I had different talismans and a different tier in my flask to increase the damage of the guard counters. But watch this, it's just awesome. I absolutely love this playstyle. As I said, you know, I only changed it because I wanted to make the most of the Twinblade damage, but that is a playstyle I'm going to go back to at some point. Back for another invasion here in the Lamenter's Goal, or Gale, or however you pronounce it. And it's an easy kill on the summon. And then watch this on the host, some nice damage again from the Ash of War here. I don't know where the host is going, he's not even looking, but nice damage. Just a nice example of that Ash of War. It's so stylish. I love the follow-up fireball, and it just really suits this build and the whole theme of this build. There's explosions, stylish explosions as well, not just mindless explosions. It's stylish explosions, guys, and that's the main focus, you know. We all know that style is more important than substance, and it will win you more invasions. That's a fact. This was an absolutely manic one. Just keep your eyes on this. It's all going down, guys. There was just one summon here initially, and then the other two run back out of the boss room. They all want a piece. Unlucky there not to finish off that summon with the flame skewer. That would have been nice. They send the lift back down and I'm trapped. And I'm in an absolute world of hurt. Look at this. I get knocked out of the Mesmer's Orb. I'm in trouble. I'm doing my best to survive. I'm trying to make something happen. Everything's been thrown at me. It's absolute chaos. But unfortunately we don't manage to make anything happen there. But I thought it was worth showing just because it was an absolute shambles, that invasion, wasn't it? It was all going on. Absolutely crazy. And now I've just invaded the host, whose name is Jesus Backflips. Look at him. What an absolutely awesome name. Jesus Backflips. And you can just see in the corner there, the host actually went and hid. He's actually gone and hid behind a pillar. You can just see him in the background there if you look. So he's left his two babysitters to look after him. He's left his two daddies to come and take care of the bad red man, but don't you worry, Mr. Host, I'll be coming for you shortly. I'm going to take care of your two bodyguards first, and then I'm coming for you. This guy's using the martial arts kicks. So cool. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I'll probably try and look to make a build out of that in the future. I think it looks awesome, and they do seem to be very effective actually, the kicks. Especially with that Ash of War, the Spinneroonie Ash of War. Yeah, I've definitely got to try that at some point. But I think in terms of this build moving forward now, I think this build is actually finished. I don't think I'm going to add any new weapons to it. I'm quite happy with the weapon lineup that I've got on this build now, and the two Mesmer incantations. It's a fire themed build with a lot of fire themed weapon options. I'll do a few more invasion videos with this build, and then my plan is to bring the next build into the DLC and start adding some nice new toys to it. I'm not going to give away which build it is, but you'll see soon enough, and I can't wait. I can't wait to get going and play through the DLC again and add some new stuff to the build that's taking it on next, so bring it on. Jesus Backflip Sir is doing a good job putting me under a lot of pressure. Messed up there with his spacing slightly, and we take advantage of that with the skewer to finish him off. GG's. But that was the last invasion for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Give this Twinblade a go, the Blacksteel Twinblade. It's absolutely awesome. Just give it a Google and see where you find it. It's really easy to grab. But anyway, guys, look after yourselves, look after each other, and I'll see you all on the next video.